More than 1 billion people currently live without electricity in their homes. There's been a large push recently by policymakers to try and provide access to electricity for these people. A lot of them live in rural areas, specifically in Africa as well. And so there's a lot of governments that are currently rolling out large rural electrification projects that are providing access to households that currently don't have access to electricity. Over the next several decades, a lot of these rural electrification projects are going to be rolled out across the world, and a lot more people are going to be having access to electricity. And so one of the questions that you might ask is, how can a government optimize the rollout of this type of program? How can I improve the quality of the construction that takes place and minimize the cost? And then just generally optimize the experience for the people that are getting these types of connections. So we're working very closely with Kenya Power, the electric utility in Kenya, as well as the Ministry of Energy. And then we're also completing our own primary survey. So we are working in areas in Western Kenya. We're asking people about their experiences getting access to electricity, and then we're also conducting engineering surveys where we're measuring the quality of the actual grid in those villages. So far, we're specifically interested in studying the differences between sites that are funded by the World Bank and the sites that are funded by the African Development Bank. And we hope to be able to complete a cost-benefit analysis of those different methods to try and inform how best to implement these types of projects in the future. Some of the things that we're thinking about so far are how can they actually optimize the quality of the electricity network? What types of mechanisms can governments use to ensure that contractors improve the quality of the construction? And also how to talk to households, how to understand their own experiences, what they actually want from an electricity connection, and also how the quality of that construction impacts them. So we're trying to understand the costs and benefits and the trade-offs that they might have to make between those decisions. In addition to our funding from the EDI, we're also closely working with the Energy for Economic Growth, the EEG initiative, which is also within DFID, which is trying to understand how energy can best be used in developing countries to improve the socioeconomic outcomes for citizens.